Hello and welcome to day 50. Today we're going to be reading 1 Corinthians 7 through 9. There's a more full explanation of the text in today's message that you can see on the website. And I titled today's message, True Freedom, and what it means to deal with traitors, with those who would try to dishonor the truth by making a lie something that's true. And Paul talks about a topic that's common for pretty much all of us. And he begins in chapter 7 by talking about marriage and how marriage is meant to be holy. Marriage is for a man and a woman from Paul's perspective. And he talks about how being divorced is not really of God, that it's a result of sin. He talks about keeping our sexual relationships between a husband and a wife, that we belong with one another as man and woman. And quite honestly, it doesn't fit with a lot of contemporary society, and so he says that what we need to do is learn how to draw a line in the sand and say, this is the truth and this is of God and this is what we believe, without being judgmental against the world. We simply are people who are witnesses of what is holy, and so our marriages are intended to be a holy witness. In fact, Paul goes so far as to say it's probably best if we just don't get married. But if we can't control ourselves, then we should probably get married. That marriage is meant to be a unity and a sexual unity between a man and a woman. And so that's good for marriage. But as far as Paul is concerned, marriage is a distraction from what we're really called to be, which is men and women of God. And so Paul continues, and he talks about with the church, not just about marriage, but he talks about the gift of generosity. And this particular church had trouble with being selfish with their resources. And so Paul challenges the Corinthian church to rethink the way that they look at their resources that God has given to them. Paul talks a lot about the fact that they never supported him when he was there. In fact, they were so greedy with the gifts that God has given to them that Paul wouldn't let them support him. He took support from other churches while he was there, and he worked while he was there because he knew that if he took something from them, they would receive that as an insult, and they probably wouldn't give. And so in both this letter and the next letter that he writes to them, he talks about their problem with generosity and how important it is for them to learn to be generous. And so living holiness within the boundaries of the truth is kind of the topic for the Corinthian church. And so you read, and again, you're going to be challenged because the sins of the Corinthian church are very, very modern.